Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I was just trying to have a conversation with my 17-year-old, and it is like talking to a brick wall. These kids do not want to talk to parents. They're not interested. Even when you're talking to them and the conversation is about, well, I guess most conversations are about somehow helping them, they are still not interested. But I don't get too offended by it because I know that they're going through a strange time in their life. Okay, so here we go. Linda P. Jones was on with Ray Fuentes at Link2. Interesting conversation.
Yeah, well, Ripple, of course, you would want to look at who is going to be a market leader in the future. Anytime I look at investing in stocks, I want to know who's going to have the number one or number two company in the space. So when the technology for XRP was created, according to David Schwartz, they looked around and they said, this is phenomenal technology. What is the biggest thing, the biggest use case, the biggest utility that this technology could possibly have out of everything? And they said cross-border payments, and that's what they went after. They also, as you know, are helping governments form central bank digital currencies. When you're investing money at the government level, it doesn't get any bigger than that. It's trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. And that is the most exciting investment opportunity and largest investment opportunity that you can usually think of too, is at the government level. Matthew Lemmerl says we are moving from having digitized communications back in the 90s to digitizing commerce and currency. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're digitizing commerce and currency right now. And that is a bigger opportunity. That is a bigger opportunity than the internet was. And that's what people don't really realize, is that the amount of wealth that this is going to create is going to blow people's minds now. And that is a bigger opportunity. That is a bigger opportunity than the internet was. And that's what people don't really realize, is that the amount of wealth that this is going to create is going to blow people's minds. And according to Matthew, when you look at the S curve for innovation, we are right at the portion of the S curve where we're about to go vertical. And so 2024 is going to be a very important year for blockchain and for cryptocurrencies and for fintech, as well as AI and some other technologies. But these are the things that we want to look at when we consider investing. And all of those things Ripple has and does very well.
What I've been doing for myself is laying the foundation. While we've been in this pullback, I've been accumulating some of these key blockchain private equities on Link2's platform. I own Uphold, I own Ripple, I own Link2, Polysign. What else? iTrustCapital. I don't have any Circle yet, but I got Glint. There's all kinds of different things on this list. Some of them are AI. All of them are. There are even there's a commercial. Zipline's a commercial drone company. There's all kinds of different things, and I believe we're heading into this major wave of innovation. Check this out, XRP. The storm is brewing. That sounds ominous. Maybe is that a good storm? Embrace the oncoming shift. Stay steady. Stay confident in what you hodl. The storm brewing, he looks like it could be a storm that leads you to $6.20 or $26.76. I like the sound of that. I think he's been using the number $27 recently. Here's JP Morgan's blockchain. Imagine that. These guys are just moving along while Gary Gensler holds everybody else back.
That blowing up, have you done? We know that JP Morgan, JPM coin has seen transactions in excess of $1 billion.
Why is JPM coin not security? Why are they not being sued for 3 years?
going up sounds more destructive than it actually is. Frankly, our core remit is to redesign the infrastructure on how to move money, how to move assets, etc. And we've made, we believe, more progress than anyone else in the world in rolling out enterprise blockchain solutions, everything from JPM Coin to Onyx Digital Assets, collateralized.
Actually, you haven't. Well, if you have, it's with the help of your friend Gary Gensler at the SEC.
Tokens, etc. So in our mind, we've made a huge bunch of progress, and I think you can see some of our peers.
See, if I had an X account, if my account had not been suspended without giving me any reason whatsoever, I would retweet this and make a smart comment about how you've only been able to progress while Ripple's been in a lawsuit. Otherwise, you would have had your butt handed to you. Then there's this clip. I don't remember ever seeing this clip of David Schwartz, so I'll play it.
Like, people are still not using cryptocurrencies for payments. Like, let's be honest, like, that's where the product market fit is really good, and they're not. There's a lot of volatility, which I think is and I think we do think that, like, that's going to start to go away. Like, the logic of economics says it has to. Like, you can't really have a highly volatile asset just because there's volatility is a profit opportunity, and so somebody should be turning that volatility into revenue. We have massive pools of liquidity now, like, you know, the trade volumes are enormous. So I think we are set up for the next couple of years. I think one sign is, like, giants like Bank of America, you know, JP Morgan are starting to, you have to be careful with them because they want to seem like they're on the forefront of technology, but also they're very successful companies. So, like, if they could push stop on technology, they would. You know, like, if you're one of the top 5 banks in the world, you don't want anything to change. You want the world to stay exactly the way it is, and most of your hyping of technology is going to be defensive. But if you look, like, their customers are really recognizing the potential of these technologies, and they're realizing that they are going to have to adopt them if they want to remain relevant. You know, there's the story of, you know, Apple eating the music industry. Sony could have made the iPod, but Apple did. And I think nobody wants to be in the position that, you know, to have the technology industry eat finance. You know, none of the established companies want that to be happening. And I think Ripple, through the XRP ledger, is right at the nexus of that convergence of these DeFi technologies with institutional adoption and focusing on, you know, the specific problems that are necessary, like I said, like sanction screening and other things that institutions are they're going to have to have if they're going to be part of this ecosystem.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we have this one. This is Sam Lyman who put this out. He's a Forbes contributor and one of the good guys. Listen to this.
There's also a very real chance that overreaction, especially overreaction in regulation, will simply serve to drive crypto underground, offshore and beneath the radar. Regulation can work, and it should. But overreaction with regulation can undermine exactly what we're trying to do. It can make compliance impossible. It can divert resources away from actual risk. It can make unregulated environments and jurisdictions the only places where companies succeed and survive. As a result, an overreaction can jeopardize national security. It can make our problems far worse. Ceding ground to China, Russia, or other jurisdictions may be far worse. The US is the center of the international financial system for good reason. It's known for its strength and for its stability, its resilience, and its safety. It's home to much innovation and many of the world's entrepreneurs. It's hardly perfect, but the US also leads in anti-money laundering oversight. Other countries and economies look to us for responsible, bold, and thoughtful leadership. There's no guarantee that that will always be the case. If we fail in US leadership, either by underreacting or by overreacting, we run the risk that we relinquish our role and other nations look elsewhere, including to other jurisdictions that might not have our same national interests and maybe even hostile to us. The national security implications of that would be far-reaching and potentially...
All right. So then we had this. This was an exchange with Warren Davidson about how cash is more for money laundering and drug dealing than anything.
Nice statement, but is it objectively true, Mr. Levin?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. So when it comes to the Iranian economy does not run on the blockchain, and so that is not the preferred...
Iranian criminals or any other criminals, the U.S. dollar is the reserve currency for a reason. Cash is king when it comes to illicit finance, not cryptocurrency. Is that beyond dispute? I think Chainalysis put out a report that said it was like 0.12% of all the crypto transactions were illicit. And all crypto transactions combined are a tiny fraction of U.S. dollar transactions. So could it possibly be objectively true that the preferred currency for illicit activity is crypto.
Yeah, no, so I think, thank you for the question, Congressman. When it comes to the set of transactions, we said it was 0.24% of the transactions in cryptocurrency can be linked specifically to illicit activity. And yes, that's a very, very small subset of the overall transaction volume in the traditional financial system.
Yeah. Okay. Now, this Gary Gensler is really a mystery to me. This guy is such an, I was going to play the clip. I can't play it. He is such an arrogant, there's no other word for it, prick. He is such an arrogant prick. Only an arrogant prick would say what knowing what we all know. He literally gives a speech. We are not prosecutors of honest businesses, nor defenders of crookedness. We are partners of honest businesses and prosecutors of dishonesty. We shall not prejudge, but we shall investigate. He's literally quoting Joseph Kennedy, who was a bootlegger, by the way, and became SEC chairman. Go figure. Stuart Alderati says, fact checker Gensler's recent comments, Ripple was sued but never charged with dishonesty. The failed case against it was prejudged, beginning with ethically compromised Bill Hinman. Gensler has prejudged crypto and has filed suit against others without investigation. And then Ripple X had put this out, introducing Wave 6 awardees for XRPL grants program. I wanted to point out one of them to you, one of the winners, and that is Chat XRP. Chat XRP is an application that provides a user-friendly interface for interacting with the XRP ledger using natural language. It'll be interesting to see what they end up doing. Now, this is Robert Kennedy. Like I was telling you yesterday, the Bitcoin maxis, they try their best to co-opt any incoming politician, any of the new politicians that are trying to win the presidency. They immediately pounce on them and act like you have to be for this freedom movement, and never tell him or any of these new candidates that, oh, by the way, Homeland Security met with the four Satoshis. They know exactly who it is. They don't ever go over that with them.
I'll do whatever I need to do to maintain custody, to maintain that people's wallets remain in there. Just like your keys to your car, like your personal wallet, you ought to be able to hold on to that and to do as much as I can to make sure that people control their own nodes and that there's freedom. There's total for as much freedom as makes sense.
All right, and then Caitlin Long had put out this tweet, which I find very interesting, especially for the private group. Today I was backstage when Robert Kennedy's motorcade arrived at the Texas blockchain, venue, and witnessed his extensive personal security, given he's polling at greater than 15% threshold and has documented security breaches. Why is he still being denied Secret Service protection? Well, in my private group, go to daixrp.com. I'm going to show you why he's being denied that protection. Think about it. This guy's family, he's got 2 family members who were assassinated. 2. He's running for office, and they don't give him Secret Service protection. I'm going to show you exactly why. I'm also going to we're going to go into the Stephen Narioff, the Ethereum tape scandal as it's known, and I'm going to let you hear a couple more clips from that. This stuff, man, let me tell you what. So it's going to be here. We're going off into it. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. If you want to hear more about the Ethereum tape scandal and some other things that we can't talk about out here, go to daixrp.com. That's where we'll be. Here we go.